Welcome once again to the Sage. Thank you for always being with us. This is a continuation of a series which we started some weeks back, in which we made the point that though things are difficult in this country, that we, each and every one of us that is a part of this country, can do something to make a difference. If you've been with us, you'll know that the series we titled Living Out Our Hope for a Compassionate Nigeria. A Nigeria of compassion, of peopled with a people of compassion, is bound to be a better Nigeria. And in line with that, we had outlined several areas where we thought those of us that constitute the majority, the common people, can do something. We can't fold our hands to die. We can do something and do our little bit to make this country a better place. In line with that, we featured several episodes on several topics. But last week and the few weeks since then, we zeroed in on the critical importance of small and medium-scale enterprises in making this country a better one for all of us, in providing much-needed income and living for many, many people in this country. Small and medium-scale enterprises are the fundamental of the economy of a country. It is the backbone. SMEs create jobs. SMEs, as we described in an earlier episode, increase our GDP. SMEs do so much good for us as people, for us as a country. We also talked about the fact that it was important that our leadership provide the supportive policy and program environment that would allow these SMEs to thrive. In the past recent episodes, we delved into specific SMEs. But I was very, very open and admitted that small enterprises is a passion for C4C as an organization. Why? We focus a lot of our limited resources, time, energy, love, affection to supporting and empowering a core group of young entrepreneurs for this country. I personally believe that these are entrepreneurs hold the key to a better Nigeria. These, when you empower young people economically, you've given them the freedom, the ability to take control of their country, to work strategically in the immediate and long term for the improvement of our country. We cannot afford to allow poverty to be a weapon against our people anymore. The way to the better future is economically empowered people, particularly young people. This is an important reason for the C4C Global Entrepreneurship Program. Again, with pride, I note the fact that we have, despite all odds, run this program for 7 continuous years and supported well over 100 young people in an intensive 1-year program in which they learn about how to manage and run their business successfully. And therefore, in continuation of that passion and that work, we decided to bring before you many of these wonderful young entrepreneurs. So they tell you their story, their journey, and indeed show you their success, because it is a story, a success story. So having said this, I am excited to say that for this particular episode, we are bringing an entrepreneur, inspiring young entrepreneur in a very, very important area of enterprise, agro-production. Sometimes it's difficult to know which area of enterprise is most important. But without a shadow of doubt, those who produce and help us feed ourselves surely hold, if not the first place, at least one of the most important places. These entrepreneurs who produce food in all its forms, whether it's from the planting or whether it's from the processing of the food, are critical to our survival, particularly at this time. We are a country peopled by hungry people. I keep using the word people, but it's a fact. Never have we experienced hunger as we are experiencing it today. The average Nigerian family cannot put food on their table. So any entrepreneur who helps in that, who makes what we produce more available and accessible for the family to put on their table, should, in my opinion, get a Nobel Prize. But seriously though, it's such an important contribution to our national development, to the survival of our people. And so with excitement, join me as I turn around and welcome on set today Adeola Samuel,
Yes, Mommy, thank you.
the CEO of TDO Foods. Adeola is not a stranger to C4C. Why? I am so proud to announce that she's one of our fellows. She's been through the program. I don't know how many years ago now.
3 years now.
But she's also one of our stars. Again, I had talked to a previous fellow in the recent episode, but again, Adeola embodies all we strive to do in the fellowship, where we produce hardworking, intelligent, dedicated, passionate young entrepreneurs, totally devoted to what they do, who don't let obstacles stop them from achieving, but who are also social entrepreneurs, who are not afraid to share their knowledge, their skills, who are active members of a network. I can go on and on and on. She's dear to me.
Thank you, dear Mommy.
And thank you for coming on set, willing to share your trade secrets, if I may call it that, but also to showcase your success, because it is a story of success, and to share with our audience what you're doing, how you got there, and what you will do in the future. Again, Adeola, welcome to the set.
Thank you so very much, Mommy. It's a great honor to be here, really. To be here again, yes.
Yes, because you've been here before, you will still be here again in the future, because this is a story that will continue, and you will continue to grow. Because we always pray for you and for all young people out there, that the good Lord will always bless the work of your hands.
Amen. Thank you, Mommy.
And so, Adeola, welcome once again. As I have said, thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure. And so, we have a lot to share. Let's start with, today you are CEO TDO Foods. How did that happen? What got you there? What has been your journey?
Wow. You see, that COVID year changed everything. In the year 2020.
We will never forget 2020, all of us.
Yes. And that was the birth of this business and the growth that we're talking about today. I was working as a finance manager, and then when the COVID-19 strike, salary was not forthcoming again. And then my husband fell ill.
Oh.
It was so terrible. And before you know it, he was placed on some diet because he had high cholesterol, and they put him on some diets, rich people's diet too. So we started going to the market to source for natural products like unripe plantain flour was one of the products. Then we realized that instead of him to get better, he wasn't getting better. Then I started processing this by myself. I'll go to the market, village market, to buy unripe plantain. With the help of God and some people, they were able to guide me on the right type of plantain to use, because it's not all plantain that you can just say, oh, this is unripe plantain, let me make flour. There are some that has sugar, so you look for the right one. So I started processing, and before you know it, my husband got better. And then in sharing testimony to with one or two people, say, oh, please process for my family. So I was just processing for a few families, and then I thought of it, this is actually a solution. And also, in order to be able to provide alternative healthy products in the market, I have to also take my place. I have a role to play too. That is why I started on unripe plantain. And before you know it, one product after the other. Oh, and there's a banger. Tidio kuli kuli. Hey, Mommy, I've always loved kuli kuli, but you know, I don't like buying it in the market because you see it opened, or when you go to where they make it, they are using their hand to extract and all of that. The processing wasn't so nice. So I started processing kuli kuli myself, especially when one auntie that I used to produce peanuts for in the US, she said, Adeola, you are in the north, start making kuli kuli for me, because sometimes when they bring the kuli kuli to the US, she just wastes everything when she tastes and there is sand in it and all of that. So she was even the one, even though my husband had been saying, Adeola, start this kuli kuli, because we make coated peanuts, and then at that time groundnut was already growing up. I would say, no, as a finance manager, kuli kuli again. Until that auntie now made request for kuli kuli, then we started making kuli kuli, which means the last time I bought groundnut was 16,000 naira. Presently, groundnut is like 80,000 naira. Mommy, the last time I bought was 16,000 naira. So we started doing kuli kuli. We never even did business with that auntie. So for me, I would see it as God wanted us to start this kuli kuli.
At what point in this, your transition to being the CEO of Didio, did you interact with C4C? Did it have...
At the time I met C4C, let me say C4C, God sent to me. C4C, conversation for change. Indeed, when I even came for interview, I think I was just scattered. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And there must have been something, because my application was not so great. There must have been something. Yeah, because that was the state I was like, I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't really think I could do much. I think my salary then was less than 60,000 naira. And 3 children, you can imagine. And I don't know, they saw something in me and they picked me. But that training, that 1-year program, the empowerment, even the first 1 week workshop, I knew, I had the understanding of who I want to be, where I want to play. And I'm always saying it. One of the words that anybody will say about Adeola is being resilient. You know, it's a different case that you know what you want to do, but there will definitely be obstacles. But when you're resilient, nothing shakes us. We are over that. Whatever comes our way, we'll climb it and thrive. And we're thriving by the grace of God. So C4C play a crucial role in my life. I'm still playing a crucial role. Like, oh, that means there must have been something that Adeola is doing well that made you to think I should be on the stage today. So I'm happy, I'm excited, and we keep moving.
I'm going to stop you because later I'm going to have you have many products. Yeah. You will describe to us in detail all about this product. Okay. But I want still holding you to tell us, when did you decide to take on this as a whole enterprise, as a business, and be the CEO? Because that takes some doing.
Yeah.
What led to it finally?
So it was when we started selling to some families, processing for some families, that we decided to make it as a business. I cannot continue living on less than.
You realize that selling to these families, you were actually making a reasonable
profit. So I said, so if I devote my time more to this, then I can get more. I'm a finance manager, so which means I know math a lot. So if I'm devoting like 20% of my time and I'm getting this result, which means if I give it my all, I will get more. And I've been devoted all my life working as a finance manager. So that was why I made up my mind that this is what we want to do now. And then we're not going to be serving Nigeria alone. We have to be able to reach the world. So Tidio Foods is registered. Tidio is actually trademarked under the Divine Manna Confectionery Limited, and then we are registered with NEPC. We export our products.
That's a very crafty name, Divine Manna. You know, you made sure you've asked God to hold your hand as you.
Yes, we can't do it alone. And Nigeria is a big market, you know. So we want to be able to carve a name for ourselves and be able to also support other people. Nigeria, if you don't have money, it's difficult to do business. But the truth is, when you are doing something and you're seeing results, just keep at it. Even people that do not believe in you, when they start seeing your success, like today, some of the people that used to say, you have started selling kuli again, they are now part of our distributors, because we are not only making money, they are also making money by being our distributors.
But I think you must have been blessed with a supportive partner, spouse, and family. Because at a point, by the time you courageously decided to do this full time, he must have been supportive.
Oh goodness, my husband is amazing. I am blessed with a wonderful husband and I have 3 children. See, my husband, I said he has great foresight. Like, if all I could sit down in my mind and think of is 1 million naira, my husband is thinking of 100 million naira. So when he shares his own idea, and I'm like, wow, that is brilliant. We are able to run with it together. So we are working together. So when you hear Tidio Food, it's not just me. It is Taiwo, Adeola.
Okay.
Food. Yeah,
he is Taiwo.
Yeah, he's Taiwo, and I'm Adeola. So we take Tidio, T-D-E-O. Tidio Foods that we are. So when we're trademarking,
who keeps the profit, you or him?
Mommy, funny enough, I'm the old signatory to this account. But we do
That's
everything
a lesson
together.
For all our men out there. Eh? That is how to allow your wife to be a successful entrepreneur.
But we do this together. My husband is a great negotiator. When we go to the market, I don't like going to the market alone, because he speaks Hausa, and then in the northern area, you should be able to negotiate. My husband is very skilled in that. So he's the one that does the negotiation and getting stores. Mama, I don't even, before we got NAFDAC, oh, praise God, we finally got registered with NAFDAC. And before then, we've tried like 2 times that it failed. The money expired. We had to do it. It was the 3rd time that we were able to get NAFDAC. I'm not good with getting stores or talking to people. My husband is skilled in that line. So it's a family business. And amazingly, Mommy, just a few days ago, my last child is 6 years old. He said, Mommy, can you get the smaller shirt of Tidio for me? I said, okay.
Is that what you're wearing?
Yeah, this is T-shirt, Tidio. He said, can you get the smaller one for me? I said, what do you want to use it for? I said, I want to be selling Tidio Puli Puli. Because I see the way when you go out for exhibition, they invite you for this. You come home and you're happy. You tell us you made this money. I want to also be doing business. So make T-shirt for me. I want to be selling small packs of liquid. We laughed. But the truth is, I step back, like, there must have been something they see that is encouraging to them. If my little child can believe in me like this, and it's amazing. God has really been helping us.
Yes.
Yeah.
God has been helping you, but also it's an example. Your family is an example that is worth sharing, where you have this idea, have great support from your husband. Too many times, sometimes men say, women, she's doing a pet project, but great support and from your husband, and your children are being inspired by what you do. And also thank you before that. Let's see that t-shirt again because it is beautiful. It's also a great idea for bringing your business to people's attention. We encourage that in C4C. I always, as you will remember, I tell my fellows, you are the face of your business.
True.
Never think your business is divorced from your life. Whichever network you belong to, whichever group you belong to, be proud to sell your business and sell yourself.
Yeah, we learned so much from you, Mama. You know. Hey, did I also mention that the impact you made in my life or in our lives as fellows of C4C cannot be overemphasized. At the time I came to C4C, I didn't know anything. I was just trying to trade, survive it, but we are building a structure because you took us through a process. That 1 year journey is not a waste. I'm a product of the impact of the program. Like being resilient, be able to set your price well, having a business plan, having a structure for your business. Mommy, I learned all of that from C4C. And whether we are around in the business or we're on vacation, our business do not stop. It goes on, it moves on. And we are hoping that we will be able to scale up and establish that you'll be more proud of us than you are right now.
Thank you. Those are beautiful words.
Thank you.
A great source of encouragement to us. We believe passionately in what people helping people to be what you are today. But it's also good to get feedback and know that we are helping. Indeed. And that it's not a waste of time.
It is not.
So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we know we'll always be here for you. We continue to support, encourage, and encourage the network. We hope you're an active part of the alumni network.
Oh, yeah.
Because you need to keep supporting each other. Yeah. So that is so wonderful. Thank you once again for being on Z.
Thank you, Mom.
But the story has just begun.
Okay.
We have a lot more to tell because in the coming episodes we shall also delve a bit more for the sake of our audience about what is it actually. Now TDO Foods is there. It's an established business enterprise. Fully duly registered, duly approved, many of its products by NAFDAC and so on and so forth. We will want a little bit more detail about that. Okay. So we're going to ask you to share that. Okay. Because it is part of the journey. And when we ask you to share it, we ask that you share candidly. Nothing is ever totally rosy.
That's all.
Nothing is ever totally rosy. So the highs and the lows, which are what add up to make it a success. So to our viewers, we say, don't go away. Be with us next week as Adeola has agreed to continue to be here to share with you, describe in some more detail her various products, the hassle, the joys of making sure they're always available for her customers. There's a great deal more to learn, to hear, and to be excited and inspired about. See you next week. Thank you.